Ciao Bella, my name is Zinger, or Antonio, and I couldn't find, I found the stream, that you played on yesterday. I couldn't find if you versed the banjo player. I wasn't able to kind of find it on the highlights, so I'm gonna assume there was like some last minute seating adjustments or something. Um, this is what I would say is actually, honestly, a better VOD to review, just because, I think that I was watching the match um, just a few minutes ago, and I think I picked up on a few things that I think you should keep in mind when it comes to playing Snake, and like kind of just toss in a few theories. Um, I don't want to, obviously, I don't want to like overload it or anything, and realistically, whatever you think you can pick up that I can say, or whatever you think is worth value, then absolutely go for it. The big things that I kind of want to look at is abusing your movement more in terms of crouch, and using neutral grenade more, as well as some character checks. I know, William, I know they play Kazuya. I think I've only played their Kazuya, so Kazuya and Ryu are very different matchups. But like I've been able to beat his Kazuya before, I believe. Or sorry, their Kazuya. I think the big thing. So Ryu does surprisingly well into Snake. I still think it's a winning matchup, but you'll definitely feel why Ryu can do pretty well. The main cause of it is that Hakanetsu, I think that's what it's called, the empowered fireball. So when fighting Ryu, it's important to know that his fireball, the only one worthwhile is the input fireball, aka not the blue one, but the orange one. I mean, the blue one's still fine, but the orange one is the most threatening. Already, what I can guarantee you is that the best thing you can do in neutral against Kazuya is crouching. So if you crouched under this fireball, you could pick up that nade again and throw it at him, or you could just keep approaching. Genuinely crouching and delting, like crouching and crawling backwards and forwards into a down tilt is one of the core fundamentals of this neutral, as well as crouching into dash into crouch. Essentially, you want to be able to abuse this crouch as much as you can. The way I practiced it versus like relevant matchups, like in my scene, it was mainly Wolf. Is that I would just put Wolf on Blaster and just have him mash laser, and then I would crouch dash, just make sure that I'm able to go underneath everyone and see what I could get away with. Because you'll see over and over again that it's one of the biggest like abusable things as against Snake to just throw out a slow projectile like that, because it also blows up nade and you take like what 40 something or 30 something. Another thing is that this matchup, I believe it's one of the matchups that I kind of encompass into the one nade sort of philosophy. So I don't know if you know much about anchor point theory, but it's sort of a thing that went around the Snake Discord, and a lot of top snakes think of it like that. Anchor point is just the idea that you're anchoring a nade to a position, and then you either run back to it to throw it to your opponents, or you abandon it to hit the opponent. And I'll kind of bring over examples when it comes to that. So when it comes to one nade, the idea of it is that you place the nade, you crouch underneath the fireball, and then you grab and throw the grenade again. Or if you're in a position to, you can dash attack him. Like let's say if you did a fireball like over there at that point. Pulling out two nades, as we see here, is going to net you a really big loss and disadvantage, because you've got two nades here now and no combo breaker, so this actually makes you more vulnerable. So already I would say also maybe look at playing more grounded, but you haven't been punished for it. So ooh, that's another thing. You were landing with a lot of aerials. Just pulling up the data right now. Your best bet whenever you want to use, oh my god, whenever you want to use a landing aerial is you want to use up air. And the reason you want to use up air is because it's the aerial with the least landing lag. As you can see here, 15 frames of landing lag. This says 19, 19, 16, and then this has 20. So obviously not like better than Nair by any massive margin, but the best thing about it is that this hitbox can kill. So if the opponent fucks up the combo, a surprising amount of time. If you're buffering a fast full up air out of disadvantage, you're gonna hit them for it. Regardless, this is the go-to aerial you should be doing when you're trying to get out of the disadvantage. Another good thing it does is that it auto cancels way sooner than any of these other aerials do. So let's say like you're in like sort of a high disadvantage, but you don't want to do a fast full air dodge, or you can't do a fast full air dodge because you're in tumble. Fast full up air actually allows you to land earlier and touch the ground sooner. So we're gonna find another example of that towards the end of the set, but I think don't do these out of hit stun nairs or out of hit stun forward airs. Try do out of hit stun up airs more. Or that wasn't out of hit stun, but you know, I was out of mash. Okay, so you get down to sent onto here, sent onto the platform. He got a down B on you. Keep in mind, Ryu down B only can tank one hit. So dash attack, sorry, get up attack, obviously going to be multiple hits, right? The big thing you want to punish Ryu's doing this with is F tilt, because your F tilt is obviously 2 hits. So in like landing scenarios, you ironically have to think of it more like you're catching them air dodging with whenever they're landing on you, because a lot of the time they're landing on you to try bait a down B, and we'll see some of that as well. SDIing out can help you live this, but you shouldn't think of that. You should try think of fixing up the matchup in other spots. Okay, C4 nade. If you put up, yeah, okay, pull out another nade. He's going to do a. He doesn't have to do anything, right? So throwing out that nade there, it's if you're ever going to throw a nade, it's best to at least try hit your opponent. I know that sounds really obvious, but it's to do with the idea that the fact that that nade is now effectively useless, right? And you actually can't pull in another nade until like it explodes, right? So I think if you were to, I think what a better sort of opener would have been here is, I think the C4 was a good idea, placing the C4. That's a nice little benefit. Just have that there. You nearly got the stick there. B, I like this. I think what you should have done is just neutral tossed it. Cover the platform, you know, force him to do something, force him to press a button, and pressure him with nade and snake, right? That's another core part of an anchor point theory, is that you're anchoring a nade and then you're using snake to try punish the character, right? Pulling out 2 nades here isn't going to abuse him jumping on the platform or abuse him, you know, doing nothing, right? Because he's already kind of scared of you because you've got invincibility. And even in general, you're a walking landmine as Snake, so they generally don't want to approach you in a single obvious pattern all of the times. So the better thing to do here is just single nade it, do a neutral nade, and then just use Snake to try punish him. What you'll see is that a lot of the top level snakes, they actually rely more on fundamentals than technical nade play. There are some really technical nade snakes, like, you know, that one guy from Japan, I forget his name, but Dio, that's right. But even then, in these moments, he'll play around one nade, especially in this matchup, because one nade is like the most important element of here. 2 nades are generally reserved for either like ultra zoners or sorties, you know, people who have really long options but are laggy enough towards if they hit, you know, like any of these mines, they're gonna explode. So yeah, okay, so that was a fine down air, I guess. Yeah, okay, reset hit. This nade, I'm pretty sure is just gonna bounce off, yeah, and you're gonna get hit there. Okay, it was nice that you at least scooted it through him, but that's why I think, you know, like, what if you just pulled one nade here and then reacted to him, right? And like crouched a little bit and then pressed A and then threw it, right? It was still perfectly cooked to where it would have hit there, but then you wouldn't have been hit by the nade. Another way you can think about, you know, using crouch is by picking up nades with down tilt, because if you do that, you're already crouched and you've picked up the nade, which is literally impossible to do, you know, if you're standing, right? You can't do like a crouch and then a pickup. So if you do down tilt to pick up the nade while a fireball is going under you, you actually have a really good chance of punishing that. And actually, I just thought of that, and I don't know why I didn't abuse that before. That's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, so try crouch over underneath the nades, and down tilt on the nade if you think you can then punish with a forward throw, or preemptively down tilt if you would just want to cook the nade a little bit. I like your nade movement. This is why I kind of told everyone in Wellington that you actually kind of play like me. In the sense that, like, I don't see a lot of snakes do these sort of B reverses, and I'm really happy to see them. Hold on. What was the... So you hit him... Oh, okay, you went for the nair. That's fine. I know that, you know that the optimal punch would have been up there, but, we all have those moments. Alright, so you have a nade there. Do you nade here? Yes, you put a nade here. You roll in. Well, you know what you did there. But, nade. Okay, that's not a bad one. But then, pulling out this one, that kind of just lets him win neutral, This is already a really good threat because now it's in front of him. Now Ryu has to deal with it. But now that you've thrown out a second nade, it gives Ryu time to just jump on the platform right there, or shield, or do whatever. I think what you could have done is close the gap a little bit, or set up a more threatening nade exchange. I like that you did do another toss from it. Like you did, what was it? You did forward nade into neutral nade. I love that, but I think you should have run in shield if you were going to force that approach. That being said, that Nikita follow-up was beautiful as well. You've got really cool Nikita play that I really like. Yeah, crouching would avoid all of this. Good DI. I like you. You're actually one of the few snakes who uses this trick of B reversing onto the Nikita. That's really good. That's actually really cool. I genuinely don't do that. I really respect that for that. What was that ledge trap? What I would have done is I would have dropped it on roll and then dash shielded, but that's okay. Crouch. Lock yourself in with 2 nades. That was a nice shield pressure setup. Side B. Okay, yeah, you're putting a nade there. That's covering that. Could have maybe extended off of that, but that's fine if you weren't comfortable on that. Got the trade there, but he did down B because of the spatial input. That's one of the other reasons why it's surprisingly good. You should be looking to try go for more parries on his landing, because I feel like he's kind of landing on you and you're not sort of finding these parries on him. And that's just generally something you really want to optimize the snake, right? Because like that is your kill condition. But another really good reason for it is because if you try play more grounded in these sort of scenarios and they try land on you, if you drop your shield, you're still actionable, right? You only have 11 frames of lag, which means that if they do the down B in front of you, you can grab them. If they air dodge, you can react to it. And if they did do an attack, you got the up tilt anyway. Yeah, like right there, it could have worked. Probably shield into roll is the safest thing you could do, like roll out. But in general, F tilt here will break this setup because Ryu down B obviously only has 1 hit of armor. So in this scenario right here, just mashing F tilt would have been best. Although you did get comboed out of the nade. Crouch. Oh. I think that was kind of overcomplicating it. I like what you were doing. I kind of call this strategy bombarding, but I don't think it's that necessary to do that. But actually, no, you know what? That was the right, probably. With this fireball coming, actually, that was probably the right call there. But that being said, you start seeing it like you could have just crouched, right? You know what I mean? Like, B, shield, crouch, fireball goes over, you just go under. You know what I mean? But I really like that, actually. I'm a big fan of that. There we go.
Still connected.
And as for stages, this is perfectly fine. I would probably try get him on longer stages if you can, but you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's all good. Two nades, and also kind of you were in the airspace of the Ryu fireball in general. Like this sort of following my mouse, this sort of area of the stage is the no fuck zone when it comes to Ryu. You know, because like you just have to crouch it or you have to be above it, like you were here. But if you allow yourself to get fell down here, you just eat so much because not only did you eat like what this and this, I think that was like 15%. Oh no, you didn't eat it, thank God. And you still sniped them there, which isn't a bad trade, but it's also, well, it's a bad trade because I think you lost the net positive, but still. Oh, and that's the other thing is that in nade stance, he'll just grab it. What you can do here is you can just grab it and I think immediately throw it before he does it. Because he used a weak fireball. If it's a multi-hit fireball, it just kind of sucks. And you have to eat it. What did you hear? Wait, what happened here? Down tilt. Okay, probably up tilting would have been best here, or maybe just shielding, because that's a pretty laggy aerial, I believe. But then he can cancel it into down B. I don't know. I'd probably play around shields there, but then he hit you with that. Down smash. Okay, I don't know what he was doing there. Nice recovery. Ooh, risky down air there. I like this neutral nade. If you pull another nade here, no, you pull Nikita here. That's not bad, actually, going through Fireball. That's a very risky poke, especially at 13% when you get nothing off of the back here, really. I'd try play more grounded in this sort of moment. Okay. Rough grab. Nade picking it up. You go and shield. That's a nice spot to be in. But yeah, getting hard hit by that back here. Nade, double nade. He fell into the side B. This you could follow up with a shield, I think. But the nade isn't too bad. But then kind of locks him there. Ooh, this is a nice rolling nade. What do you do with it? You use that time to set up a down B. You throw a nade. Throw a nade. Yeah, okay. Double nading. Okay. I used to do this as well. Trying to fish for this sort of forward air spike. So the way to actually get it is you don't want to fast fall, because if you look here, that actually didn't reach below. I don't know if I managed to catch the frame, but I'll show you. So Snake's, the way Snake is that it's very hard to get that 2 frame while fast falling, because his leg, his inner leg is actually extended outwards. So if you see here, so his ECB is roughly this triangle, as my mouth is putting it, right? So with the forward air, actually it's the outer leg, we'll go like this, that, yeah, so about 2 frames before he landed, and your forward air was about here. So if you want to do the spike, it's actually more optimal to go for the rising forward air, because then the lower half will actually hit here. Yeah, one really strong punish you can do against Ryu, now I think about it, doing those down Bs, is shield into grab. It's a really nice option select, because, sorry, like shield flash for the parry, and then grab for the punish. Because you're getting punished a lot for not only kind of him dancing around your shield, but also for trying to hit him, because he's going to be using down B, right? Like right there, even if you hit him. So I think you should be grabbing a little bit more in this matchup, especially there. Die there. Oh, no, you don't. Good DI. Nice nade. That sets him up in a really good spot to punish now. Yes, really good nade there, and nice movement around it. If you ran in with shield, I think that would have been really good, because you're just closing the gap and you're really tightening the noose around him, you know? Good grab. Side B. Your Nikita, really good. Nice. Good stuff. I would personally grab the nade here. That's a me thing, but you know, this is a good setup as well. Nice crouch. Could crawl up to him and, you know, slowly close the gap and then kind of like down tilt a little bit more to punish him trying to dash in, but that's fair enough. Nice use of one nades. Should be crouching, you know, trying to avoid these fireballs. Obviously, I don't want to say it too much, but you know what I mean. He just catches you on the pull there. That's just good on him. And then he down airs you. Okay, yeah, okay. So there's, you know, that can feel bad as a VOD. But the biggest thing is that losing is the greatest gift you could ever receive. You know what I mean? This VOD has so much to improve on, and that's a good thing, you know? Kind of just thinking just a few solid ideas, because, you know, obviously there's a lot. I mean, everyone can improve in so many ways. If I'm to just, you know, write it out in like a few, you know, brief sentences, I think the first one is getting comfortable with crouching, especially under projectiles like Wolf Laser, Ryu Hadouken, what's another one? Samus missiles, well, like, I mean, like Mewtwo and, you know, Samus uncharged charge shots. I mean, you know, there's a whole list of them, but these projectiles that are very linear, like Fox, you know, Falco's so important. These are really good lasers to keep in mind that you can crouch and you can close the gap and wall them out at the same time with down tilt. Another thing is getting comfortable picking up the nades with down tilt, because it's really good, because not only do you auto cook it, but you pick up nade in one of the safest possible ways you could. The second thing I would say is try avoid playing every matchup with two nades. Two nades is very good for some matchups, and it's very good most of the time situationally. You know, usually you want to be doing nade, wait, nade, wait, nade, wait. The only time you want to do like the sort of hyper zoning where you do nade drop, be reverse nade drop, and then you throw them like a machine gun is when you really want to establish space, or they're really being aggressive with pokes and such, you know. So I would say try play with like less nades, you know. Even using one and just approaching with it, you know, using snake um, around the anchor that is nade is really strong, and that's the central point of nade theory. Thirdly, I think just try and simplify your advantage state as much as you can to side B. I think sometimes you're overcomplicating it a bit by knowing like nade hold into roll away. I think, you know, it's fine even just doing like up smash at ledge or side B, as long as you're keeping it really simple. Like really simple ledge traps like up smash into shield, or side B into just edge guarding can be really good, and then you build that complexity on top of it. Like what I like to do is nade it, roll, up smash, shield. So I would catch a lot of options that way, you know, from ledge get ups and stuff. But it's all with just, you know, what you're comfortable with. I hope this rod review was, you know, like somewhat helpful. If there's anything you think I can clarify on, just let me know, man. And well played, well played.